morning, guys. I've had a hell of a morning. I took my son to school in the green Civic. I parked, I walked him in, and then it decided not to start. I've never had an issue with that car not starting, but this morning it left me stuck at his school, and I spent like 30 minutes trying to get the thing started. I couldn't do it. I'm pretty sure the starter just took a shit out of nowhere, like in the worst. Well, not though. It could have been worse. All right, I gotta like kind of be positive. Luckily, my wife was able to pick me up. So what I'm gonna do today before I pick up the green Civic is rob the starter off of my 4-door. That poor 4-door. It's like my personal junkyard. It's like my pick and pull. I'm robbing all these parts off of it. So I'm gonna snatch the starter off of the 4-door and see if that's the issue, because I'm pretty sure it's gonna be the starter. Because it cranked up fine this morning. It's been starting fine, no issue, and then yeah, it clicks. Right, it clicks. I tried knocking on the starter, but that didn't help. It doesn't always work when you tap on the starter. So yeah, that's what I'll be doing on my lunch break, and then hopefully I can get it picked up, and I'll bring it to work and try and figure out that overboosting issue if I can get it started first. There's a little update. You ever just have one of those days where like they say when it rains it pours? Well, it's fucking pouring right now. I'm drenched. It doesn't look like it, but it's one of those fucking days, man. I was gonna go home and pull the starter off the 4-door, kind of take like a long lunch break, and my red CR-V broke down. I'm pretty sure the fuel pump took a shit. If I give it gas, it stalls, so I'm going like fucking 5 miles an hour on a highway, just trying to get back to the shop. God damn. It's about as fast as I can go in second gear. If I put it in drive and it goes to third or overdrive, it'll just stall and die. About 10-15 miles an hour is the fastest I've been able to go. Golly. Alright, I went ahead and robbed the starter off the 4-door, so now I just gotta see what the next plague today has to offer, because it just seems like shit keeps going wrong. So let's go see if I can get the 2-door fired up. Guys, I'm here at the 2-door to try and get it started, and I dropped my phone out of my shirt pocket and it landed on the pavement, and it completely fucking shattered. Even the screen in front of the camera. Like, it's real rocky stuff. God, man, I wish you could see just how bad I just shattered my glass. Oh my god. Can anything else go wrong today? Fuck, man. 2 doors broke down, fuel pump on the CR-V is going out, just shattered my phone. Please, let that be it for today. I can't handle anything else. The way things are going, I'm not going to be able to get the 2-door started, and with my luck, it's going to get towed with the way shit's going. Like, the worst thing that can happen is probably going to happen today. Alright, I'm going to do some diagnosing. I'm going to check the voltage from the battery, and then I'm going to try and jump the starter to see if I can, bypass some stuff. And if you jump the starter and it still just clicks, then it's a good sign it's a starter. So, let's see what I can figure out. Alright, about to test for voltage on the battery. 12.7 volts. So that's not the problem. I guess I could check for voltage at the starter itself. Let's see. Yep, we've got 12.7 going to the starter. So that means if I jump the power lead on the starter to the solenoid, it should crank over. And if it just clicks like it does with ignition, it's a good sign that the starter is bad. So I'm gonna try and jump the power lead and the solenoid. Yeah, I'm getting the same clicking. It's not turning over. So I think it's a good sign the starter motor is stuck. Okay, I got the the starter swapped, and the one that I pulled off the 4-door looked like an aftermarket one, like it came from a parts store, and the one that came off of this 2-door looked original. So yeah, that's pretty amazing for original starter. So I'm gonna try and start it, but I have pretty much little to no hope because today is just a fucking all-around terrible day. Terrible day. But if it does start, I mean, fuck, God knows I need it, because I can't handle much more shit going wrong today. Golly, trying to stay positive. You know what, fuck it, it's gonna start. I got faith. Come on. It's gonna start. Come on. Oh, fuck yes. Oh my God. It doesn't have a check engine light because this morning I was desperate and I hooked up the stock computer because I was like, man, what if my P28 took a dump or something? But nope, just the starter. Okay, at least I got something going right today. Jesus Christ. You hear that really nasty, like, rattling, grinding sound? That's the input shaft bearing. So that's gonna be, it's gonna have to get done sooner or later. Probably when it cools, when the weather gets a little bit cooler, I'm gonna go ahead and drop the trans and open it up and replace that input shaft bearing. That sucker's really noisy. It's just getting louder and louder. So to test the starter, another thing you can do is the small wire that goes to the solenoid. You can check voltage there whenever you crank it, whenever you turn the ignition forward, like to start the car. See if that gets voltage, but you might need two people or maybe some leads because it'll be hard to do to crank it and check the voltage there at the same time. But basically I didn't do that because I could hear the solenoid clicking when I would try to start it, and I jumped the starter, and again the solenoid was clicking, but the problem was that the motor and the starter was seized. And I tried hitting it. That's the old trick you could do is you hit the motor with a hammer. In my case I used like a pry bar or something like that, and it didn't work. It just went out unexpectedly in the morning and left me stuck up there at my son's school. So just because I'm curious and I like to learn, I'm going to take apart this bad starter and see what actually goes wrong inside. All it was like these two long bolts. I lost the other one, but oh well. So the motor comes out. Oh, there's the other bolt. We got a bearing that I guess sits on the inside of the case. And there. I might have to pop this bearing off to actually get the coils out. Okay, so this is the guts of the starter. It came out like this, and what you see there in the bottom, those are the brushes. So that's the power lead. It sends power to the brushes and transfers it to this surface right here, and that's what actually powers the motor to spin. So my cheesy little theory is that the brushes, they're pressured, right? There's springs behind all the brushes, and they're pushing out, so they're constantly wearing down. So this surface area used to look like this, like how it does on the edges, and I think just from wearing down, time and time again, it's actually worn. That might be copper, but it's worn off all the copper, and it's not making connection. It's not transferring the power from the brushes to this, which doesn't allow it to crank the motor over. That's my theory, but let me know in the comments if you know more than what I'm pretending like I know. But that's just an educated guess. So for like shits and giggles, I clean off the brushes and wire brush the copper that it makes contact with. I'm just gonna see if I can bring this back to life. I'm not gonna use it, but I'm just gonna see if that is the issue. And I also noticed something else. These wires here are making contact down here. Actually, that guy right there was touching this part. So I think that might have shorted out. It's not supposed to make direct contact like that, I'm sure. So I bent that up and out of the way. Same goes for this one, this little ear here that the little wires go through. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it back together and put some power to it and see if I can get it to crank. Okay, this is gonna be my bench test. I got this Milwaukee battery, right? I got the positive going to the solenoid. So now I just have to put ground I think I could just touch it anywhere in the starter, and since the starter's on the table, technically I could ground the table and it should work, because that's how it works on the car. Basically, it just being bolted to the engine is the ground. So I'm gonna hook up the ground real quick to the battery. This is my ground. I'm gonna touch the table and see what happens. Whoa. Oh shit. It works. Oh shit. I can officially say that I've rebuilt a starter. I mean, I still wouldn't use it, but pretty cool to like open it up and figure out why it's not actually working, just by sheer luck pretty much. All right, I'm gonna call this a wrap on this video. Not much happened. Pretty depressing, short little video. Had a terrible fucking morning. Terrible morning, but like after I got back, I mean, everything was pretty cool. Nothing else happened. I've noticed things kind of happen in threes. You know, when shit goes wrong, it really goes wrong when it rains and pours. The you know, the starter went out on the Civic, fuel pump went out on the CRV, shattered my phone. And then after that, it was just a usual day. So I guess an update before I leave. I went ahead and ordered a 2.5 inch to 3 inch coupler for the intercooler piping to throttle body, because I've got like a rubbery squishy coupler right now. It's not really meant for boost, so I ordered a silicone coupler with some new clamps. Ordered a fuel pump for the CRV, as well as a Honda fuel filter. I'm gonna go ahead and do the fuel pump and the fuel filter at the same time. And you know, I didn't really diagnose the CRV. Just the way that it's acting is like it's not getting fuel. You know, it'll run, it'll idle, but if you give it gas, it just starts detonating, goes really lean and dies. It doesn't have the fuel to rev up. I'm just assuming it's a fuel issue. So yeah, that's it for this sad little video. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps. And comment below if you have any questions, or if you want your video featured, shoot me it on Facebook or Instagram, something like that. I'll feature it on my channel. But thanks for watching. See you next one. I'm gonna neutral slam it.
The fuck? You still haven't fixed that?
Bullshit to that too, huh? Episode 2 of the fuck, what's the title? Hold on.